This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Jordan Pendleton. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks
Excellent.
for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm good. Thanks for asking. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Denver, Colorado.
Sweet. You say Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado. I say Red Rocks. Immediately. Red Rocks Amphitheater. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Loved
Have you
it.
been?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part. One of the best parts. There's a lot of good parts of Denver.
Yeah. Just driving around that zone right there was, wow. It was amazing. Wow. Makes you wonder
pretty.
if aliens were here.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder that all the time.
Yeah, it looks a bit scary. Well, do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
I've been thinking about that. One of my good friends, Anastasia, I don't know if you've interviewed her, but she sent me a link to your page. And so I think the talent that connects us is connection, is connecting people with people and understanding people's stories. And I looked on your page and was just fascinated with what you're doing. So I had to know more.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anastasia Button, are you hearing this? Yeah. Anastasia
Shout out to
Button.
Anastasia.
Yeah, she's the reason I was at Red Rocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. It should be amazing, beautiful. That AB and Anastasia Button, because yeah. Long story, but all in all, it was great. Super great. Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I've never done this before. Are you ready, Jordan?
I'm ready.
So, because of Anastasia, I met Greg Jameson at the Red Rocks. He wrote 2 books, The Influencer and Amazon Dirty Secrets. On Friday, before I had this interview, I interviewed this guy, and he told me his earliest childhood memory was him skiing. And it was challenging because he didn't know how to ski, but he then extended to interpret his memory as his interconnection with technology and how sometimes it's challenging. He was a programmer, moved from Poland, and he didn't know how to speak English, so he began learning after translating the book into Polish, from English, yeah? And that was basic programming, right?
Whoa.
Almost finished. So he did that, and then he expresses how well he is at programming. Today, my friend, interestingly, I picked up the book, The Influencer, from Jameson. Would you believe that he started in his book and spoke about him being a programmer? And the first thing he did was actually develop a skiing game. Spooky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Wow. Love it. That's cool. Small world that all comes together.
Definitely. So how has things come together in your life?
Mm-hmm.
How has things come together in your life?
How have they?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess how has they? Oh my gosh, I'll leave that in there. Yeah, how have they come together? It sounds weird though. How have they come together in your life?
Through a lot of hard lessons and starting in a career and really just in a version of myself that wasn't true to me. When I was a financial planner for 4 years right after college, and through that experience of working really, really hard towards something that I wasn't very connected to, I learned a lot about myself and realized that I like helping other people learn things about themselves so that they can do more in this world. and do what they feel that they are called to. And so it's been through a lot of my own mistakes, challenges, failures, and understandings of really just being not positioned in the right place, that we do all have a place in this world. And that's what I'm now most passionate about, is helping people find that.
Where does
what their place is.
RevenueTribe come in?
Oh man, the company, well, the owner of the company, who's really more of a spiritual mentor of mine, who has been for the last 3 years, she created a process called the Unique Contribution Workshop. And I, at a pretty low point in my life and pretty stuck point, I said, what do I have to lose? And I enrolled in her program, and it completely changed the course of my life and opened me up to the value that I bring to the world. And I haven't viewed the world in the same way since. And so just recently, I've been doing my own business for the last 2 years after I left financial planning. And then I realized how much that's the core of everything that I really want to be doing, is helping people just understand who they are and how they fit. And that's what her company is all about. So, and finding your tribe that you're to do life with. We live in a world of isolation, and where isolation is easy. So connection and tribe and community take effort, and it takes a little bit of getting outside of your comfort zone to find those people. So
yeah, the comfort zone is getting even more comfortable as well. I mean, I'm sitting right here in my room in shorts, and the computer is here, right? If it gets too warm, I can put on the air conditioner. It's just really getting easier to not do what's uncomfortable, to communicate, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I sat in my basement and worked all day today. It's so easy to disconnect, and there's so many different forms and modes of disconnection, and I think that's kind of the root of a lot of the problems that we see in the world around us. So we got to break the cycle and get vulnerable again, and be okay with opening up and letting people into our lives, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's kind of required if you want to have connection in the world.
I totally agree. Now, you're doing a ton of things, right? Did you stop? Like, again, on your bio, you said, let's do this. Snowboarding, skiing, hiking, cycling, competing in triathlons, and pushing their physical, mental, and emotional boundaries any chance they get. And this is you and your husband. I mean, like, did you stop? Did you slow down a bit? And then after RevenueTribe really got going?
I have always been an achiever, a doer, an athlete, pushing my boundaries and my limits, physically, emotionally. I did have to slow down for a while. As I was coming through and understanding more of who I was, it required me to slow down and I engaged different parts of that, pushing myself in different ways. And so I'm not doing those things like every single day. Like, I still work and I'm a normal human, but those are the things that my husband and I like to do the most, because that's where we find the most connection and growth together and individually. So it's just an important piece that, if the weeks go by and I'm not doing those things, I feel pretty off.
Fair enough. All right. I'm having a fun conversation here, amazing audience, with Jordan Pendleton. Jordan, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jordan, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I've been thinking about this, and for some reason it was hard for me to come up with this, but I think my earliest childhood memory was when I was a kid. I used to get all the neighborhood kids. I was the oldest, and I would get all the kids together, and we would do performances in my backyard. And I just remember getting everybody together and getting all the parents to come watch us do a terrible dance routine.
How old were you in this memory?
I think I was about 6 or 7.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
I still do so many elements of that now. I create a lot of communities and bring people together for common purpose and common goal, of people that just want to connect more. And I feel I was a connection point even back when I was 6, 7 years old.
Wow. Now it's gotten you all the way to Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean speaking to someone, right?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. Love it. All right. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
I want to say it was probably a John Mayer song, like his first album had come out. I think it was No Such Thing by John Mayer.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's cool. Are you ashamed of that song?
Am I ashamed of it?
Yeah.
I just think I just kind of laugh at some of or just giggle at some of the things I used to do. I just remember jumping on my trampoline, listening to John Mayer all summer long, probably when I was about 12 years old. So I'm not ashamed of it.
There we go.
I saw him at Red Rocks when I was 13 years old. That was my first Red Rocks concert.
I can well imagine what that was like. I love John Myers as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw him at an awards perform the first time I saw him on TV, this is. And yeah, it was amazing. He's really great. Yeah. All right, my friend. We've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Jordan,
I'm
have
ready.
you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Maybe.
What about screen
Depends.
time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents you, I'll put in your maiden name here, right? Just so it resonates. Jordan Youngblade Pendleton. What would you say that is?
Know who you are, own who you are, so you can become the best version of yourself and do life with those you love.
Love it. It's beautiful. Well done, Jordan. This was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I don't think so. Just own your awesomeness. There's no one else that can be you.
Totally agree. You know, it's really cool that your previous name, your maiden name, had you in it. Just to put Jordan, you, and then NG, Blade, right? Yeah, Jordan, you. Jordan, you, young Blade, you. I love it. Jordan.
I've never noticed that before, but I love it.
There we go. Jordan Pendleton, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.